Good morning, grade 11. Today we're going to talk about arrays. So you might think, oh, why don't I have a program yet? Well, because I'm going to discuss arrays, introduction, and we'll do an exercise after this. So to demonstrate what arrays are about, you know that we always use variables, okay? We use a variable called sname, not so, or sline, or whatever variable name we use. Now, each variable name will only store one item. You as a class of 22 of you. So if I want to store all of your names in memory, so remember variables are stored in memory. It's like while the computer's running, RAM is going to hold those variables and whatever's in them. So when we say we're declaring that a variable name is, say, a string, that means so many pieces of memory RAM are going to be made available for this name to have a name in it. But it's only one name. What if I had 22 names that I want to store? That means I've got to have like sname1, sname2, sname2, sname3, and it goes on. It's actually going to get quite awful. You're going to have, like, for instance, if I want to store all your names, there'll be 22 names. I have to store 22 different variables. Now that's very impractical, isn't it? Doesn't make sense. So instead of having to store 22 variables, we can put them all into one variable called ARR names, and the variable, and it's going to look like this. The array will look like this, and the array will have box numbers. They'll be numbered. Each box is going to be numbered from 1 to wherever we want it to be numbered to. So indices, they call them index. Okay, so we can have 22 boxes here. So that is what the array will look like. So instead of having 22 different names, we say we have one array which can hold 1 to 22 of string. So we're saying that this array now, ARR names, instead of 22 variables, we've just declared an array, which is much simpler. Well, it's neater. Imagine 22 names, variable names down here. And that, just one variable declaration, and that's it. ARR names. I'm calling it ARR for an array type, data type, colon, and then you say array, and then square brackets. How many indices or boxes? Yeah, they look like boxes to me. Do we want to have available? And then the of part is what is going to be in each box or in each index. In this case, it's going to be a string. Now you can't have different things, and you can't have an integer and then a string in one, and then an integer and then a boolean, another one, or real. No, you can't mix up the data types. If it says of string, it means only strings are available. Yes, so then we can go ahead and put all the strings in here, all your names. I can put all your names in these boxes one by one. How do we do that? Well, in the code we will do it the following way. We will say, if I want to put genre's name in box number 1, I'll say AR names box number 1 equals, Joe or whatever. Let's make it Joe. And then I can say AR names box number 2. Maybe I want to put Tom in that box number 2, and that is how we're going to do it, and so on and so on. So there you are allocating the different names to the different boxes, and you can also display them using an array. So yeah, we're going to get to using arrays now, but now you understand this is a basic introduction to arrays, how we declare it. That's the main thing. And the fact that you have an upper index, which is 22 here, and a lower index, which is 1 here, which means you're starting at number 1, and then you'll have 22 indices. Now there's another little feature of arrays that you didn't know about, and that is that you can have an array of names. Instead of saying 1 to 22, we can say A to How many letters of the alphabet? Oh well, 26. A to Z. Eh? A to Z. So the boxes can be numbered from A to Z. So in other words, your indices or numbers, indexes or box numbers can be characters. Oops, that's not going. There we go. Oh, that's all okay. Alright, I'll have to do it manually. So we can do this. We can B, C, D, E, F, G, H, R, J, K, L, M, N, O. Take note, I have to use capital letters. I can't just use, because I've said A to Z. You see that? If I want to go only up to A to P, well then we can change it to A to P then. Alright, and this one will only go up to 16. Let's say. Right, there's another, oops, that's not a capital P. It's supposed to be a capital P. Yeah. But you can also number them this way. Obviously, with a small letter A and a small letter P. Oops, you can't do that. You can do small letter P. But on top of that, there's something else we can do. We can also number them. So these can be small letter A's, eh? No, it can't be C's. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, K, L, M. Nope. M, N, O, P. You know, they're small letter P's. Now, what if you want to number them from, let's say, from a small letter, oh no, not from a small letter, sorry, from the character number G to the character number T. Yep, G to T, so it's going to start at G, B, B, C, D, F, G, H, R, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. See? It's going to go from that to that. From G, that's what the numbering is going to be. That's what the numbering is going to be. We're using going from G to T. This is our numbering for the small letters. You can change that to a different color. The small, quickly. So there's our numbers for our small letters of the alphabet from A to P, and then we have G to T. And guess what? We can do with numbers too. I can start at box number 14. Yeah, I can do that. And I can go all the way to, so this one's going to go from 14 to 29. So I can say array names of, and then I'm going to go from box number 14. We're starting at number 14 and we're going to, the last box is going to be called number 29. But as you can see, they must be in order from 14 to 29. And when you have characters as the indices, then you actually have to make sure you use a single inverted comma. Right, so this is quite a good one. We're numbering them quite differently here, aren't we? And I'm going to even highlight it in yellow because it's so awesome. So, now the other thing about arrays is that, oh, sorry about that. The other thing about arrays is that they can have, like for instance, this array can be an array of integer. This array can be an array of real numbers. This array can be an array of strings. We'll keep it a string. This one can be an array of Boolean. And now these are the only data types you have to worry about at this point. Okay, integer, real, string, Boolean. So you can have those different data types in the arrays. Oh, char. an array of chars. Characters, in other words. So there we can go. How would a character look? Well, I'll put a random character in there, and I'll put a random character in there. You see the characters are, oops, we have to put them in inverted commas. I just want to center this so that you can see it better. Okay, so I'm going to, can you see this? You've got to put them in inverted commas, otherwise, oh, it doesn't want to display it. Can you believe it? I don't know what, Excel's got this issue, you know. So irritating, quite honestly. There, that's better. So can you see how the characters, you have to put single inverted commas over a character that's in a string, and the same, but you can only, if you've got an array of characters, then only characters can be in there, in the boxes. This is the numbering system, and those are the contents. Okay, right, so you get the general idea how you can number each box differently, and you can have different things in it. So if it's only integers that are allowed, then you can only have integers in the boxes. Okay, only numbers can be in a box. Yeah, so that's an array of integers, and of course we can have a whole lot of different. Now we can go and actually use arrays. So I'm going to stop this, and we're going to do a program, and then you'll see how they work. Okay.